This year was jam-packed with scandal, controversy, and everything in between. Though the world seemed to be crashing down around us, the internet was there to support us, right? Wrong-o. The internet and its notable stars were causing about the same amount of chaos as the rest of the world. Now, I know there were so many scandals that happened this year, but I'm gonna list 10 that were pretty big. So join me as we count down the top 10 biggest influencer scandals of 2020. At number 10, Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star released an eyeshadow palette in May this year that had a lot of people coming for his wig, and he has a lot of them. This palette launch was already pushed back a lot because of the coronavirus pandemic. Production had to be halted, but Jeffree decided that he didn't want to wait any longer to release his newest collection. But maybe he should have waited. The new collection was called Cremated, and the name and theme had a lot of people upset because of its connotations with death and things related to such. The theme was black and white gothic with imagery of graves, cemeteries, hearses, and other things of that nature. This release caused Jeffree to get a lot of backlash because the death imagery from this collection just didn't sit right with people who have been losing loved ones during the pandemic. With shade names like Gravedigger, Tombstone, and Casket Ready, people were getting really upset that Jeffree would release something so grim during a time like this. In response to the backlash, Jeffree told his followers that the names and theme were all chosen and trademarked in late 2019 and that he didn't mean to offend anyone with this launch. But what do you guys think? Should he have waited to release this collection because of its theme? Let me know down in the comments. At number 9, Jake Paul. Jake Paul has had quite an interesting year, and a lot of his attention has been negative since he's been involved in a number of scandals this year. One of the scandals Jake was involved in happened as the Black Lives Matter protests were going on across the US. Jake was allegedly involved in a looting scandal in Arizona as he participated in the protests. Jake said that he was filming the protests and looting going on, and this implicated him in the crime. Jake was charged in connection with the looting, but things didn't stop there. He was involved in an even bigger scandal after the FBI raided his house in early August in connection with his alleged lootings. The federal officers had a warrant to search the premises for anything that connected him to the lootings, but in the process they seized guns and other possessions. He also caused controversy when he threw a party in July for his music video, even though we were and still are in the midst of a pandemic. The mayor of Calabasas said that she was outraged at the irresponsibility of these people, but Jake didn't really seem to care much since he's also said that he believed that COVID was a hoax. On top of all this, we have the controversies he's caused in regards to his fighting and trash talking those he wants to fight. Most recently, he's been antagonizing Conor McGregor, but that ordeal is a story for another time. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, please do consider leaving a like on this video. It really helps us out, and we love seeing you guys supporting the channel. At number 8, Charli D'Amelio. Just before hitting the milestone of 100 million followers on TikTok, Charli D'Amelio started losing millions of followers overnight. As the biggest star on the platform, what would have caused such a negative reaction? Well, it all started with a snail. Sort of. The D'Amelio family posted their first Dinner with the D'Amelios video on October 16th, and it got a huge amount of backlash. The first thing that people didn't like was how Charli and her sister Dixie behaved at dinner. As part of one of the dishes their personal chef prepared, the family was served snails in their paella because it was a traditional ingredient. The girls were seen freaking out about it, gagging and asking for dino nuggets instead. Fans saw this as being very disrespectful towards their chef, and so they called for them to check their privilege. The other thing that got Charli so much backlash was her complaining about not reaching 100 million followers in 1 year. Fans saw that as Charli being ungrateful, and so this whole dinner video ended up being less wholesome and more hateful. As a result, Charli lost millions of followers, but after some apologies, she gained them back and ended up reaching 100 million followers in the end. At number 7, Jenna Marbles. After over 10 years on YouTube, Jenna Marbles announced that she was quitting the platform. In her emotional apology/goodbye video, she told her fans that she was, quote, moving on from her channel for now. This came at the height of the Black Lives Matter movement, as many YouTubers were taking accountability for their past racist actions. Creators like Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson were being asked to apologize and take accountability for their actions, but unlike them, Jenna did it without really even being asked. Jenna took down any of her past videos that could be seen as offensive in any way, and she issued an apology for the things that she said and did in the early days of her YouTube career. Though people called her an unproblematic queen, she knew that she had a rocky past on the platform and wanted to come clean before leaving YouTube. This caused a scandal because A, no one saw this departure coming, and B, they compared her taking accountability to others, saying that her apology was more sincere and she's been less problematic than other creators who are still making videos online. A lot of people hope that she returns to YouTube in the future though. At number 6, Lovely Peaches. TikToker Lovely Peaches made headlines this year after being arrested amid reports of child endangerment, among other crimes. Peaches has already made headlines in the past for stalking Charli D'Amelio and planning an assault on the TikTok star. Peaches came under fire again after it was alleged that she had been hurting her 2-year-old daughter Cora, and following an investigation, Cora was removed from Peaches' care. Now, for YouTube purposes, I can't say what Peaches was doing to her daughter, but just take my word for it when I say that it was awful, disgusting, and just downright evil. The way she would talk about her kid while live on Instagram or TikTok is chilling, and it's a good thing that Cora is far away from Peaches. Because of the allegations against her, Peaches had her social media platforms taken down, and there was even an FBI investigation into her online presence and the reports that involved her child's care. The internet blew up for a while this summer as people were trying to raise awareness about what was happening and get Peaches removed from social media, and it worked. There haven't been any new updates on Peaches since her arrest. At number 5, Trisha Paytas. Trisha Paytas is definitely no stranger to causing scandals, and this year was no different. Last year she was offending the trans community with her comments, and this year she was offending the DID community when she came out claiming that she had the mental illness and bullying other people on the platform. It started when Trisha posted a video on March 12th called Meet My Alters, where she made the claim that she had dissociative identity disorder, though also admitting that she'd never been clinically diagnosed. DID is a mental illness that causes the fragmentation and creation of other personalities or alters within a child's consciousness after enduring repeated trauma, so it's a very serious and difficult illness to live with. Trisha went on to call out a specific DID YouTuber called Dissociated, calling them crazy, and even went so far as to call out Anthony Padilla, who had recently done a video interviewing people from the DID community. This sparked criticism, but even more followed after she posted another video allegedly catching a switch on camera, and another after that calling for Dissociated to stop bullying Trisha, even though they had done nothing but try to educate people on the illness that they themselves suffer from. Misinformation and internet trolling made this blow up and ended with people getting hurt, and ended up negatively affecting a lot of people, especially those in the DID community. At number 4, Tati Westbrook. On top of having been involved in Bi Sister 2.0, which we will discuss later, Tati Westbrook had another scandal on her hands as news broke that she was being sued by her former business partner. Tati owns a beauty vitamin company as well as a cosmetics line, but those businesses are separate. The company that Tati is being sued over is her vitamin brand Halo Beauty that she, her husband, and a friend all co-owned. The person suing them, Clark Swanson, was alleging fraud, negligence, and breach of contract after he found out that Tati and her husband had been cutting him out of deals. Originally, Clark owned the larger portion of their company, but after coming to him with a deal, Clark agreed to split the business 3 ways because Tati promised that she could use her platform to sell anything and turn a large profit. But it was later discovered that she'd launched products outside of the Halo Beauty brand and purposely cut Clark out of the deal. Now the truth is coming out about Tati's dishonesty, and people are learning that she can't be trusted. Between this and her calling out James Charles, Shane Dawson, and Jeffree Star, something is a little fishy with Tati, and I think things are only just beginning. At number 3, Bella Thorne. This summer, Bella Thorne launched her OnlyFans page, and in one day she ended up making $1 million, becoming the first person to do that on the platform. It was big news to see that she was that successful overnight, but this news turned into a scandal after her big payout ended up affecting a lot of other creators on the platform. Bella and her massive payout, which ended up topping $2 million, caused the platform to have to delay paying their other users, and said users blamed the former Disney star for their monetary troubles. During a time where businesses were shut down and thousands of people lost their jobs, OnlyFans was the sole source of income for a lot of creators on the platform, so Bella's massive payout made a lot of people angry as they were going to have to wait longer than normal to receive their payout. This caused OnlyFans to change their policies and create transaction limits, and though the platform said that it was not because of Bella, it didn't seem like a coincidence that these changes happened at the same time as Bella breaking the system. At number 2, Micah and James Stauffer. YouTube couple Micah and James Stauffer shared their lives on the internet, including parenting of their 5 kids. Out of their children, one was an adopted son from China who had autism named Huxley. Back in June, the couple announced that they had, quote, rehomed their son Huxley after not having the resources to care for their son's special needs. This caused a huge controversy over the fact that they gave up their child, and also the belief that they exploited their child's special needs for financial gain. A lot of their followers compared Huxley's rehoming to giving a dog back to the pound, saying things like, quote, the situation with Micah Stauffer is so upsetting. When you adopt a child, you act as though you literally gave birth to that child and they're fully yours. They aren't a dog that you adopted from the pound that you get to return in 14 days if they're not a good fit. Gross. end quote. People also pointed out that in 2017, Micah promised that the money that the family made from a specific sponsored post would go towards Huxley's adoption, and they continued featuring their son in more sponsored posts after that. After the backlash they got, they removed all posts that had Huxley in them, and Huxley has now been placed with a new family. At number 1, Bi-Sister. Again. This year we saw the Bi-Sister scandal rear its ugly head once more, as Tati made a video on June 30th titled "Breaking My Silence," as she dove back into the scandal that started it all last spring, and telling her followers that she was manipulated into making the first exposed video because Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star were in her ears telling her lies and spreading rumors about James. Jeffree and Shane refuted these allegations, and Jeffree also said that his lawyers were getting involved. Tati basically went back on everything she said about James last year, blaming others for the drama that unfolded, and the internet came after Shane and Jeffree. Nothing really came from it because this drama just sort of fizzled out and was instead replaced with scandals involving Shane and Jeffree and their offensive past. This drama has so many sides, and it's so toxic that hopefully we can steer clear of Bi-Sister Part 3, but if that does happen though, it'll be like Avengers Endgame but with eyeshadow palettes and Morphe codes. I know there were a bunch of other scandals that happened this year, so what are some other ones that I didn't mention? Let me know down in the comments, and also tell me about your thoughts on some of the other controversies that I did mention. Anyway guys, I've been your host Bree Room, and until next time, stay safe, have a happy new year, I'm wishing you all the best, and I'll see you in 2021. I hope. Dun dun dun!